Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back to my Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. Today, we've got a bit of money, we've used up all our science points, and I think it's about time we got some more contracts and continued working on our way to greatness. Hello there, my friend. Here we are at the in the mission control. We can still only take 2 contracts, so let's have a look, see what we've got. Right, so we've got a visual survey one, pays out some good money, and another visual survey one pays out some good money too. Crew reports in above 18,000 meters, could be quite a good one to do. Nice and easy to go over that height. Probably those 2 are the ones we're going to do, but let's just check out what else we've got here. We've got to test a liquid engine in flight, but that's got a particular altitude and a particular speed, so maybe not. Another a Rockamax in flight, solid fuel booster in flight, parachute in flight, radial mount, liquid engine in flight as well, although that one just has to be at a particular altitude, not at a particular speed, so that one actually is quite a lot easier. And look at the amount of money! Oh wow! Oh yeah, we should do that one. Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that. What's this? Test small gear bay orbiting Kerbin. That's quite a lot of money too, but then again we have to get up into orbit. Radio decoupler orbiting Kerbin. So maybe we can do these 2. We could do the radial decoupler whilst in orbit, and we can also do the gear bay whilst in orbit. But really, I think this Rockamax would be quite a good one to do. Well, we've just come back from orbit. Let's get the small gear bay and the radial decoupler. Why won't it let me accept it? I've already got 2. What did I click? Did I already have 1? Let's go back. We've still got to test our solid fuel booster. Oh, of course, I forgot about that one. Let's get that one sorted and out of the way. Okay, so here we go. We've got to test that Rockamax fuel booster. We've got to get up to an altitude of 1,200 meters and a speed of 270. Now, we don't have to do anything else, so let's have a look here. There's the Rockamax. That's the thing we've got to test. We don't want that though. Let's use this stay putnik, because if we look here, the mass is 0.5, whereas the command module is a 0.8. So, we have to unlock it. Well, we can afford to do that now. We've got the money. We've got 93,000 purchase. There we go. So we're going to use the stay putnik. It's lighter. It means we don't have to risk any crew. Job's a good one. Then, of course, we need to get the engine up. Now, would it be worth actually bringing this all down safely? I mean, the engine's probably going to explode. How much is the stay putnik? Let's have a look. It is cost 300. It's really not worth it. I don't think it's worth the parachutes in case anything goes wrong. So here we go. There's the engine we've got to test. So we just need to get this contraption up to an appropriate altitude now. And to get it up there, we can use... And actually, as well, come to think of it, I did this last time and it didn't quite work out. We don't need a load of fuel in there. We just have to activate it. So we've got 1/10 of the amount of fuel in there now, 85 instead of 850, and now we just have to get that up. So in that case, I think we're going to need a stack decoupler, of course, and if I put that on the bottom, can I then put some of these solid fuel burners on the bottom? Let's try it with... let's just come back a second. Let's get another one of those on the bottom. There we go. Right. And then let's try this. See, I think I was doing it before with 1. I think doing it with 2 would probably do the trick. There. don't see why that wouldn't work. We've got a lighter bit at the top. We've got hardly any fuel in the main Rockomax and 2 engines at the bottom. I think we can do that. It's only going to cost us 1,600 to launch, and it'll get that contract out the way. Now let's just click load. Have a look here. Contract craft Mark 4. So this is the contract craft Mark 6. Let's just put that in there. Oh no, hang on a second. No, it's not. It's the Mark 5. There we go. The Mark 5. And I'm putting a space between them for some reason. Let's cancel the load and then save. And let's give this a go. Take it out to the launch pad. We don't need any Kerbals on board. There's just nobody. There's no capacity for anybody in there. Remember, Mundok went into orbit, so he's got that extra star as a pilot. But yeah, let's take this out to the launch pad. Okay, so here we are out on the launch pad. Now we just need to look at here. We need to just get this up to 1,200 meters and activate the second stage. Now I'm going to bring that stage in there with it. There we go. Now they might count this as a failure, to be honest, because the probe is going to smash into the ground. But we shouldn't really lose any reputation, or not much at all, because there's going to be no people dying. That's the plan. So let's see if we've got enough power in these 2 bottom boosters to get this booster up to 1,200 meters. May as well, there's no SAS system on this, it's just a thing, but we should be fine. Let's launch. Okay, speed's looking good. Speed's looking very good. Hopefully, oh, it's leaning quite badly. Well, I managed to do it. It wasn't clean, it wasn't nice, but I activated it at the right time, so this is now going to splash down in the water, and let's just fast forward that. There's no need to do anything else. This is what these probes are for. They're throwaway to a point. 1,000 there. And it's going to splash down badly. There we go. Plop. Right, let's go back to the Space Centre, shall we? There we go. So it says outcome catastrophic failure, but actually it's exactly what we wanted to do. So that's got that contract out of the way. Let's head over to mission control and take up the other orbit one. So we've got radial decoupler orbiting Kerbin. That's the other one we wanted. Fantastic. Right, back at the main screen, and we've got this notification here. This was from our previous contract. Contract complete. We've got a little bit of money, a little bit of science, a little bit of reputation. Let's discard that. Have a look here. Now here's our oh, hang on a minute. Why does the contract for the radial decoupler not say that we're at Kerbin? I'm not quite sure about that. I've just realised as well we've got a very, very narrow margin that we have to orbit at to complete both of these at the same time. If we look here, the altitude for the small gear bay is between 76 and 89,000, and the radial decoupler is between 84 and 97,000. So we have to be above 84,000 meters, but below 89,000 meters to be able to get that. Well, let's head over to our Space Centre and see what we can do. So we've just come into the vehicle assembly building. Let's load our... We've got our orbiter? Yes, the Mark 1 orbiter. Here we go. So this is the craft that successfully made it up into orbit. The only problem is now we've got to add some weight to it. Now let's have a look. If I go... structural notes. Oh, it's those kind of decouplers. Utility. Here we go. The small gear bay. Here it was. Now this is. I think it used to be massless. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it is massless in the game, but it does actually say a mass of 0.005. Very small amount of mass. Let's go back to the structural stuff. What's the mass on this? That's quite a bit heavier. That is quite a bit heavier. I don't really want to add a lot of mass to this vessel, but it's got to be done. So let's add both of these. It's hardly... let's sort this out. Now, how much do the parachutes weigh? 0.15. See, I'm not sure that we need all of those parachutes for a start. And also, we don't need to take this command pod up. We can probably reduce the weight of everything by not taking a command pod. The only problem with that is we wouldn't have SAS, and I feel that we really do need it. So, let's take these parachutes off, and let's reattach 2 of them instead of 3. Hopefully that should be okay with the landing legs as well. And then what I will do is I will attach... where's it gone? The radial decouplers here. We're going to have 2 to keep it level. There we go. Nice. And the other item that we was doing was the small gear bay. Let's just check the contracts here. Small gear bay, yes. We only need 1 of these. Let's put it on the top. No, only 1. There we go. We don't want it deployed, we want it retracted. There we go. I'm not sure about that actually, it doesn't look in the middle anymore. It's a very light object. Any sort of waver that was going to give us is going to be fine. These are balanced. Everything's good. I'm hoping we'll still get into orbit with this particular craft. We need to get right in that magic mark of about 86,000 meters. So, yeah. This is still the Orbiter Mark 1. All we've done is added some bits to fulfill a contract. And hopefully we can get all the way up there. Now, the only thing I need to do now is sort out the staging, because we need to insert... these decouplers here in their own separate stage. There we go. Let's check out our crew here. Now, we had 1 pilot go up. Mundok went up and he got an experience point. He's now level 1. I think it's time to take our other pilot up, because we may as well, because then he will become experienced at level 1 as well, which will be quite nice. Every time we do something new and we do it again, we'll take a different pilot up. So this is still the Orbiter Mark 1, although I'm not going to save it. We'll leave it as it is. And let's take this out to the launch pad, try and get it into orbit, try and get it in the right place, and then see if we can fulfill both of these contracts. If we can, our money situation is going to be looking pretty fine. Right, so, not going to save it. Shall I save it? Yeah, we'll save it anyway, and we'll head out to the launch pad. Oh, hang on a second here. Oh, the Rockomax apparently is an experimental part that's not available to us. Well, it was experimental at the time. I think I can purchase it, though. Yes, I can purchase it, because we did research it. So there we go. We should be able to go out and launch now. Okay then, so here we go on the launch pad. We've got our secondary pilot in place. Let's turn that SAS system on. And if I remember correctly, this was all about easing over gently, getting things in the right sort of orientation, and trying to just get ourselves up and out into orbit. Now we have got this little bit of extra weight on, but we've dropped 1 of the parachutes. Have we got monopropellant? We've got no monopropellant in the command module. We do not need it. So fingers crossed. Here we go. Slow and steady launch. Just some slight taps. There we are. That angle will do. You can see it's at a very, very slight angle. That will do for now. Should be okay. That solid fuel booster giving us the thrust, the speed, the acceleration. We want to try and get up probably 5,000 is the ideal sort of height I'd want it to get to. I think we are going to probably just about make that. Bringing the craft over to the right a little bit more. And it's about to go. There it is. So we're on second stage now. The craft is now lighter. I think this one's got more thrust in it. We should be able to accelerate a little bit more. And as you can see down here on the nav ball, I'm just following. I think that's the Appalaps. I'm not quite sure if that's the correct pronunciation of that. But that marker that I'm following it. Going round, bending over. And when we hit about 45 degrees and we get up quite high, I'm going to... Oh, there's that stage gone. Throttle that to the max. I accidentally pressed the wrong button then and rotated the craft, so I'm trying to bring it back perfect again. There we go, that'll do. Following that trajectory still. We're 20,000. That's good. 20,000 will do quite nicely. Just following that Appalaps. Checking the electrical charge. Plenty of electrical charge, because this design that I've got here was a design that was... an idea from originally from a guy called Scott Manley. I mentioned it in the last episode, but I've adapted it slightly. And he had an extra electrical battery pack on his vehicle, and I don't have that, so I'm just keeping an eye on it. The electrical charge seems fine. It is going down because we're using the reaction wheels to turn the aircraft, and the SAS is also using some of the electricity, but we should be okay. Whoa, right, we just hit orbit. And you see the Appalaps jump because the whole thing happened there. Now I'm just going to switch to map mode. We'll bring up the nav ball, we'll zoom in, and you can see here we're about 47 meters up, and we have to get that smack on. It has to be 86, 87 or 88. Nothing more, nothing less. Will not do the job. Okay, so I need to be ready to press the X key as soon as we get to that point. So here we go. I'm going to leave it at this angle now. I don't think I'm going to follow it up. We're going to try and get it to bend out 54,000. Fuel situation, can't see at the moment. Looking okay. All we need to do is have just enough fuel to make orbit. Tiny bit of fuel will actually break the orbit and put us in a decaying orbit and get us back down again, so that's fine. We're at 57. The altitude is actually increasing now. Need to get ready to press that X. 58. So we've got quite a little way to go. Let's do a little bit of time acceleration here. 60, 61. Let's bring that time acceleration down, check the fuel. The fuel looks okay. 63. That'll be 64 now. And the good thing is once we reach orbit with the way that we've climbed up, we won't need a lot of fuel to maintain. 71, 72. That orbit is now really going very quickly. I'm going to have to get ready. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, stop! 87, is that going to do it? Yes, that should do it. That should put us in a perfect situation. So what we want to do now is we want to wait until the orbiter hits that particular point and then use the last, or a little bit of our fuel. We've got 52 units of fuel left. Now, that's not a lot, but we've got quite an efficient engine on our orbiter here. What's our altitude now is 72,000, so we're actually in space. Fantastic. Let's just check. We haven't actually met the orbit conditions yet, but we are going to. When we hit this 87 mark, the Acropolis, is it Acropolis? When we hit the Acropolis, we're going to I'm just going to refocus on Kerbin, zoom out a little bit, just adjust the camera so I can see, and we will be burning along the arc, along the line. So I'm just going to rotate the craft, so we're burning along the orbit. And I'm just going to use a little bit of time acceleration to get us there quicker. We're at 5 times speed now. It's going to take us a couple of moments to get there. Getting close. Getting close. Just a minute. Any second now. That will do. There. Right. Let's just make sure we get that rotated round correctly and throttle up. That should, and as soon as that flips, as soon as that goes round, we need to stop the burn. It's going any second. And there, that should do it. Alright, what we got? Ooh. Okay, we're going to have to be careful. Oh, actually, at the moment, we're meeting all the criteria at the height we're at. Because we've got a 76 mark there, and we've got a 98 mark there. So we've got the orbit, we're at Kerbin, and our current altitude is between those two markers. Let's go back and have a look. So we're currently at 85, and it's going to be decreasing until we get to the right point. So let's do the radial decouplers. So zoom in, blow them, away they go. Contract done. And let's test this small gear base. So we right click on it and we just do run test. And there we go. That's it. Done. We've got 2 contracts done. We've got 2 notifications, completion rewards. Let's bin that completion reward. And there we got another one there. Bit of science, bit of money. Fantastic. And of course, we can do a crew report while we're up here. So we want to do it over a new biome. So let's check back at the Space Center, I think, where we can do these crew reports from. So if I just do Space Center, and if I just go over to the tracking station, you can see here, there's the, I think that's the mark for where the tracking station is. You can see we've got our craft up here, and a little bit of debris as well, apparently. Orbiting around the planet still, going round. Those 2 pieces of debris are the decouplers that I fired whilst we were up there. They will stay up there for quite some time, and maybe we'll have to like ignore them or try and recover them or something along those lines. One of them seems to have a bit of a weird orbit. Their orbits are slightly different, but hopefully we shouldn't crash into the debris. So there's our orbiter. We'll come back to that in a second. Now the reason why we came back to the centre is because we wanted to come to the science archives and just see what we've got here. Here we go. So crew reports, and we want to look at the crew reports. We've got 18 crew reports here, and we've got orbiting. We're looking for orbiting, I think. Flying over, flying over, fly. Okay, so it's orbiting doesn't count. It's flying over, I think. Upper atmosphere. We've done upper atmosphere. So that might have been it. So we might just get upper atmosphere. No, we should get space. Oh, there we go. Look, crew report while in space near Kerbin. So let's go back out there and see what crew reports we can get. Let's go to the tracking station and orbiter and fly. Okay, so here's our orbiter. We haven't got a lot of fuel left, but he's quite happy there, spinning around. So, yeah, we're over the planet now. Let's see. Let's just do a crew report and see what we get. Crew report while in space near Kerbin. It doesn't appear to be picking up the biomes that we are at. So, let's just reset the experiment. We need to bring him down. We need to bring him down nice and safely. And again, we want to try and do it so we get really close to the Space Center. So let's try and do that this time. Last time we failed, we underestimated and fell short. Now I need to figure out where that bleeding Space Center's gone. Now it should be along this line. Let's focus on Kerbin. You can see there the 2 pieces of debris slowly getting further apart and actually having weird and wonky orbits because of the power that they were ejected away at. I think this is it here. That's it there. So we need to wait until we get quite close, probably about here, and then decay our orbit. So let's fast forward a little bit so we get all the way around the planet. We do orbit the planet. You can see the planet's got some rotation, and we do orbit quicker than what the planet is rotating, so we will be able to catch up with that. Here we go. So let's start slowing down, I think, because we're starting to get into the point here where we're going to get close to the space center. There we go. Let's bring up our nav ball, and what we're looking for on the nav ball is this little symbol here with the 3 prongs. There we go. Let's just get our craft there. Now, I think I'm quite close. I think it's about right. So maximum power. We're aiming for the water just outside Kerbin. Let's just stop that for a second. Check our fuel. 27, 26, 24, 23, 22, 21. Let's stop it there. See how we get on with that. I'm guessing we're going to hit the atmosphere, and as soon as we hit the atmosphere, this orbit doesn't get very accurate. You drop right in. Your speed changes, everything goes wacky. So let's speed it up slightly and watch. You see, we're starting to slow down already. These debris are carrying on, going round and round. And we're going at maximum time set acceleration now. Let's go back to the craft in orbit, and we're going over the space center now, so we want to slow ourselves down as much as possible. So let's use the last of our fuel. Max power. There we are. 15, 14, 13, 11. Just really max it out. We want to get as close to the in the water, in the shores as possible. And bam, there's all of our fuel gone. So hopefully that slowed us down a little bit more. You can see here our trajectory did come in a little bit, and it should be decaying. It is decaying slightly. But there we go. We're flying right over the space center now, and we're going to land in the waters not just far after it. And of course, the more we hit this thicker atmosphere, the faster we will slow down as well. So we're in the upper atmosphere at the moment. We are going to be getting very close. Here's the thicker stuff we're about to come into, the thicker layers of atmosphere. You should be able to see some of the effects that has on the craft. We're going to turn SAS off. Here we go. Re-entry flares. This doesn't actually do anything in terms of the craft. There's nothing in the game yet that actually makes parts heat up, etc. There we go. Now, on the plus side, this time we're coming down in water, so that makes things easier. On the negative, we're coming down with only 2 parachutes instead of 3. So here we are. We're just past the thicker parts now. Our surface speed is slowing down dramatically. We're below 20,000 meters, so we can deploy the parachutes. Just waiting for us to slow down a little bit more before I do deploy those parachutes. We may as well put that landing gear out just because I think it looks good. Oh wait, the top one came out as well. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's leave that out. And let's deploy both those parachutes. There we are. That gives us some extra drag. And you can just see the mountains there near the Kerbal Space Center. We're not too far out. It's a good row. It'll take you a while to row there, but here we go. We're coming back on a very, very successful mission indeed, as far as I'm concerned. Let's just time speed up until the parachutes are about to open. 3, 2, 1, and stop. There we go. Parachutes are open. We're now falling at 5.7 meters per second into water with landing gear. That should be fine. There we go. Let's just double check that though. We don't want things to explode, do we? That would be bad. Very, very bad indeed. Time acceleration now until we hit the floor. And of course, because it's the ocean, we can actually rely on this meters reading at the top here. It is going to say 0 when it hits 0 because that is sea level. So here we go. You've got to remember you've got the height of the craft to take into account as well. Here we go. It's probably going to fall onto its side. There we go. Nice and safely. Everything's back. We can recover all that. So I'm going to recover that vessel, and let's go back to the Space Centre. So here we go. We get, what was it, 1.7 science for recovering that data from for a vehicle that's gone round the orbit. We get all of these parts back, small gear bays, liquid fuel, which I think was empty, fuel tanks, fuel engine. The engine has a value of 700, so that's nice to bring back. And we got 93% of the value because we were quite close. We was only about 100 kilometres away in the water, which is really quite nice. And of course, here's our crew member back, our nice little secondary pilot. Gained 1 XP, so he's now level 1. Fantastic. Right, there we go then. That's pretty much it for now. We've done both those contracts, so we have no contracts. We have some science points to spend. Our reputation is amazing. I think next time we need to pick up a couple of contracts. We're going to head over to the administration building and maybe set up some stuff, and our money situation is looking a lot better. Well, like I said, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you've enjoyed it, remember to give it a like. It helps me out. And if you've got any thoughts, ideas or questions, always feel free to pop them down in the comments below. If you want to know more about what I do or anything about my daily ramblings, you can get onto my Twitter account. And if you want to know more about the League of Super Ultra Mega Geeks, which I'm a member of, and the public events we do in various different games like Minecraft, Garry's Mod and various other things, head out to lowsome.net and check out the events, because we do loads of cool public events including giveaways. Well, that's all. Thank you for watching, and until I see you next time, goodbye.